We welcome you back to the Moyne Event Center where the Dolphins win a thrilling overtime victory over Wagner, 72-68 to snap a 5-game losing streak. They're now 3-8 in the league, 8-18 overall, and they get their first overtime win of the year. Well, I guess you had to play one overtime to win for Moyne because the double and triple overtimes didn't work for them. We're happy to be joined now in the McNeil & Company Coaches Corner with head coach Nate Champion. Coach, it's nice to see you smile after a game because it's been so long in coming. These games have been really tough, as you were just saying to us off camera, that it's hard to win. It's really hard to win. It was a little bit misleading last year how easily it came sometimes, but to win in this league, especially against a team that's the defending champions, it took every bit of your guts and guile to get this one. How did you do it?
Like I said, I mean, winning's really hard, right? And sometimes you think you're going to win a certain way, and then the basketball gods don't want you to win that way, right? So you got to figure out a different way to win. But one of the things that I just talked to our team about is a lot of teams in our situation, right, would just kind of roll over and pack it in. And this group didn't do that. We came out and we fought. I mean, we held them to 18 points in the first half. I thought, you know, if we would have shot the ball well at all in the first half, we would have had a much bigger lead. But, again, sometimes that's not how it works out. And you had guys step up. I mean, you had O'Cipher off the bench who was great. You know, I mean, his stats maybe aren't all that. Like, he had only 2 points, but 6 rebounds, and some of them were huge.
And they were all in the second half.
Yeah,
and defense.
And defense was great,
yeah.
You know. And then you have guys like Deng, Garang who are getting rewarded for their hard work and for their resiliency as well. And then, you know, obviously when AJ's kind of doing that stuff in the second half, or in the overtime, just keep going to him and let him do his thing. And I think it just builds a lot of trust in our group as a group, you know, of individuals, but also within the coaching staff and the rest of the team. And that's something that's really important as we move forward, because as you know, it's not about how you start in the league. There's 1 week that leads up to how you're going to be judged for the year.
And all you have to do is look at the other bench to see
exactly
how it happened last year. Wagner, the lowest seed ever and the first team ever to win 3 road games in the NEC tournament to win the championship. So I want to ask you, first of all, you knew you were going to see pressure. I'm sure you practiced against it. And up until the very end of regulation, you only had 2 turnovers, and you handled the press beautifully. So I know you got into your offense a little bit later because it took a while to sometimes get the ball across the court. But I wanted to ask you about how important it was to take care of the basketball. And even though you had a few turnovers at the end of regulation that helped Wagner come back, I thought your poise was fantastic today.
Yeah, I thought we did a great job. We said we wanted to push the pace, don't let the pressure get set up. I thought towards the end of the second half, we kind of let them dictate the pace of the game. I thought we kind of broke them down, and that's how we built our lead in the second half, you know, just kind of being able to get some stops. And then when we didn't get stops, being able to move the ball up the floor quickly and get into our stuff. I thought we struggled a little bit with the zone, just a few different things. But I thought overall, you know, towards the end of the game, we just did a great job of, like, being in space. When teams trap you, there's 2 people on the ball, so that means somebody else is going to have a spot to be open. And I thought our guys did a great job of getting to those spots and just taking care of it and then moving methodically up the floor.
And certainly took care of it in overtime. No turnovers in overtime.
Yeah.
Other thing that we want to point out looking at the stat sheet, Chris and I have been talking in the last handful of games about how important it is for other players to step up and help out. So it's not the same 1 or 2 guys every game doing it all. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the score sheet today, there were contributions from everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to take a total team effort, you know, to win. And like I said, winning's hard. So, you know, I think you have guys like Amica who come off the bench and give us great minutes. You had Deng, Garang, obviously I've already spoke about him, but just proud of the group. You know, Dwayne, you know, 6 points, 9 rebounds though. 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. He had one of the best contests at the rim in the first half, which was a crucial play. They had a steal. I think it was our only turnover. Had a steal down here, and he gets and just jumps as high as he can, contests the shot, forces a miss. We end up with the rebound. It's a key play that will never show up in a stat sheet, but it's something that we've been speaking with him about, and I love seeing him take that and use it in the game.
So you win the game. I know it's been a long time coming. You've lost 5 in a row, but you're right there in most of these games. What does it do for the team's morale? I know you've been in the locker room already, and for you as a coaching staff, to finally win a game, to be home, first of all, to win a game, a close game against the league champs, and then to know that you've got some games coming up here that you can build some momentum. What's the feeling like in that locker room?
We've got to take it one day at a time, right? I mean, we can't get ahead of ourselves right now. We're 3-8 in the league, so, you know, there's no room for satisfaction. I was talking to Deng actually today. It's funny, I was talking to my good friend back in Indiana. He's pretty successful back there, and he was talking to me. He's like, you know, don't forget about the hungry wolf. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, the hungry wolf's a better hunter. And so I was talking to Deng about that. I said, you know, look, like, be a hungry wolf. And he goes, Coach, what are you talking about? And I said, you've earned, right, the right to start, okay? But being a hungry wolf means you're not satisfied. You're going to just keep hunting and keep hunting for more. And he did that tonight. And after the game, we had a little laugh about it. So, no, proud of him, proud of our guys for just hanging in there. And it was a great win for us and needed.
With all due respect to Duran and Hungry Like the Wolf, I wanted to ask you about what Deng actually brought to the table tonight. So one thing that stood out to me specifically, first of all, his length, and he's all knocking balls away and just deflecting or throwing people off. But I wanted to ask you about the confidence. There were a couple of times that he took corner threes where he wasn't even thinking about it. He's a redshirt freshman that's got maybe 30 minutes of action in his career on the court. Here he is in a league game against the defending champs, and he's just casually taking these threes and burying them.
I know. What coach wasn't playing him before? It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's
Wow.
unbelievable. No, I mean, his product is a great example of his work. He's in here every single day. He doesn't miss a day. It's unbelievable, and he knows what it takes to get here, and it's a huge sign for our program with guys that are getting rewarded like him and AJ because they're in here all the time, right? You can't think a negative thought about those two because they're in here every single day, and it's becoming contagious. You have guys that are constantly getting in here, and the results showed tonight.
And how about the local kids today? Amica and Deng Garang. These are guys that are part of, and Nate Fouts. And these are guys that are part of your program, part of your culture. And Deng Garang's a guy that wants to be at Moyne. This is the kind of player you want to bring in here.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think if it says anything, you know, to the local talent, come here, you can play.
Yeah.
You know, come here, you can play, and it's a fun style of basketball, and there's a lot of good development going on here.
Nate Champion, thanks, and
Appreciate
congratulations on a very exciting victory.
Appreciate it.
That's Nate Champion joining us in the McNeil & Company Coaches Corner. McNeil & Company, we are who we insure. And we're going to be speaking with our Wegman star of the game and our Brooklyn Pickle sub of the game in just a moment here. And right now, the Dolphins with a 72-68 overtime win. And let's take a quick look at our Dolphins schedule, brought to you by Finn's Hospitality. The Dolphins will next be in action Saturday afternoon as they take on Chicago State here and look for revenge after losing their first ever trip to Chicago. We'll be on the air at 1:45 for the King and King Courtside Show, 2 o'clock for the tip. Our next women's broadcast is exactly the same time against exactly the same opponent. Tim McCaffrey will have the game at Chicago State as Lemoyne looks to sweep that season series. Dolphin women were losers today in Staten Island to Wagner, 61-56. They're now 4-19 overall, 4-6 in the league. And again, they'll be in action with the game to be heard on The Voice at 2 o'clock with a 1:45 King and King Courtside Show. Count on us to bring all the Lemoyne basketball action this winter and let Finn's Hospitality handle all your catering needs. Give them a call at 315-445-4695. We're now joined by our Brooklyn Pickle sub of the game, and today was a no-brainer. Will Amica, the local product, a transfer from UAlbany, but a West Jenny grad, and he had 11 points off the bench today, and you really have that jump shot going. You just have such confidence taking that mid-range jumper. Tell us, is that something that you practiced like in the backyard all your life growing up?
My whole life. I've always been known.
Even in the snow?
Honestly, when I was little, yeah. But my whole life, I've always been known to get to my mid-range jumper. And I just know if I can get to my spot, it's a good chance of it going in. So I'm confident taking a shot.
Well, we've seen that there's a really good chance of it going in, and it's not that easy to defend. You know, players are used to defending the three-point line or players going to the rim, which you can also do.
Yep.
but it leaves that little weak spot there. And you've hit some big 2-point jumpers, especially today, to help Lemoyne win.
Yes, sir.
A big and one for you, too. So what does this mean from a team standpoint? This was your first double-figure game since the Army game, but personal stuff aside, and you had great numbers today, what does it mean for the team? Give us a little snapshot of what it's like in that locker room right now after 5 tough losses in a row in the league.
It just gives us energy and momentum. Momentum going into the next game and momentum leading into the rest of the regular season. We trying to finish the regular season with all wins, so just using that energy to come out and play good next game.
So I got to ask, what do you take more pride in? All that shooting or that leaping at the basket where you are either blocking shots from forwards or out-rebounding people bigger than you are?
I just like to do whatever I can do to help the team. Getting in the game, I just want to come in and try to uplift the team, bring energy, do whatever I could do to be a positive impact.
Even though you are a senior and you've, played sparingly at UAlbany and here at Lemoyne, you don't have a whole lot of, court experience in live action. What are you learning as the year has gone by as far as how to pace yourself, what your role is on the team? Tell us what your personal growth pattern has been.
Just trying to hit singles. Not trying to go for a home run.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, trying to hit singles. Just taking every play by play. And try to make the right decision every time. Don't try to do too much and force something. Just try to take it one step at a time and see what the game gives me.
Like Tony Gwynn.
Listen, I can see him hitting singles and then stealing second and third.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Already spring training is right around the corner, but we got some basketball still to be played. So Chicago State coming in here. I know that Lemoyne lost at Chicago State. Do you guys care about the whole, hey, they beat us, we got to beat them back? Or is it just let's continue what we do, and hopefully if we continue to work hard, we'll beat whoever comes in?
Honestly, both. We trying to either get both games or at least get the split. So since they beat us, we at least need this split. But we're focused on winning every game that we play. So
I have one other question for you, and that is the last time we saw Lemoyne playing here at home, Central Connecticut State, which is a great team, and they're even they're high up. Not only in first place in the league, but they're like in middle of the pack in the Chem Pong and everything. They're very good. And Lemoyne tried to go zone in that game. You were undermanned, and it didn't look like the effort was there 100% in that game. It looked like kind of you're going through the motions.
Almost like it was a foregone conclusion that we just were undermanned. We don't have a chance against this team.
Right. So my point is, what's the difference between that effort there or what's happened since that game after these 4 road games? And you came out today, and you guys looked hungry out there from the opening tip.
Well, just like you said, players have stepped up. Like Deng had a great game. But
what a story he's becoming.
What a story, exactly. Players just like that. He stepped up and taken that role and been confident, and that's what's been helping us.
And you've been helping us too, Coach Will Amica. Tremendous game today. Thank you again for being our our Brooklyn Pickle sub of the game.
Thank you.
And Will Amica out of Syracuse was the best sub on the court. For the best subs off the court, head to the Brooklyn Pickle with locations on Burnett Avenue on the east side, West Genesee Street on the west side, Buckley Road in Liverpool, and State Street in Utica. And we've got one more interview to do, and that is our Wegmans star of the game. And Will Amica and the Dolphins were winners today in overtime, 72-68. They improved to 50-71 all-time in overtime games, an unbelievable record. 50-71. You'd think in overtime games that you'd be 50%, but nope. Lemoyne has had trouble in overtime games over their history, and now we are joined for the first time putting on the headset by another local product, and that's Deng Garang, the Bishop Grimes High School grad, and so much to ask you. First of all, this is your second career start, okay? And
he's a rookie with the headset.
And you haven't had a whole lot of action on the court. Yep. You've been part of the program for 2 years. You redshirted last season, but you were traveling with the team and practicing with the team. So I want to ask you, how have you developed into a starting player and an impactful starting player with 15 points, shattering your career high today? How's that happened?
Just hard work and determination, staying patient, being a good teammate. Even though my role wasn't as big as it is now, just putting the work in, for yourself, for your team, and when you get your opportunity, staying ready.
Coach said the same thing. He mentioned hard work. You're here every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he mentioned something about a wolf. We'll talk about that afterwards. But I'm also curious. You redshirted last year.
Yeah.
How important was all that time that you spent with the team last year that helps you prepare to be ready to go this year?
I mean, a lot of people may not know this, but coming to college, I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
So I was young. So that redshirt year was like a no-brainer. But I mean, it gave me a year to like get used to the program. You know, get a feel for everything, learn the system. So when next year my time was called, I'd be ready. And I think it was very big, very monumental, and put me in a good spot coming forward because you know I'm already established. I know what to do. I know how we ran. I know how Coach Champion wants everything ran. So it's very good.
We saw you in the St. Francis game. That's where you got some minutes off the bench and you could show what you could do. You had a block shot. You deflected passes. You had a slam dunk. And we're like, hey, this guy can make a difference in a game. You know, we had seen you sparingly in games against D3 teams and, you know, in blowouts. But we actually saw you play impactful minutes in a game, a league game. Then you got your first start at Mercyhurst. You showed some signs there that, hey, maybe this guy can offer the team something. Today, you had everything going. I want to ask you specifically about the 2 3-point jump shots from the corner. And both came at times when Lemoyne needed them. And you knocked them down, and you looked like you just wanted to take those shots. Tell us about the confidence that you were feeling and what you feel like when you're about to take those shots.
I mean, those shots come from a lot of reps, you know, getting in gym every single day. I mean, I probably took that shot. I can't even tell you 1,000 times.
Okay.
I mean, just staying ready, and I knew when the ball got there. After the first one in the first half, they were automatic. I knew it was going in.
And your free throws, perfect today, 6 of 6. I mean, that's part of getting to the gym every day too, isn't it? Just being familiar.
So who taught you how to shoot?
You
got to give credit to somebody.
All right, Coach McKinney, Bishop Grimes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sophomore year, I'm shooting the ball all season. I can't make a shot. I made 2 my first game, and then the rest of the season I don't make another 3.
Really?
I'm shooting with 2 hands. The rotation is off, and Coach McKinney all summer, he takes me to the gym. I'm having a flip flop in my left hand, shooting like this. So I can't use my left hand. I used to shoot with 2 hands.
Okay.
So I'm getting the rotation right with my right hand, and like I did that the whole summer. I'm doing it all the way to the 3-point line, and I think that's like the biggest game-changing thing for me because it made me a good shooter, and it elevated my game to the next level. So Coach McKinney for sure.
Well, thank you for giving him a shout out. Also, the defense. Is that something that has come about, you know, from your own learning, or is it you've taken pieces from this coaching staff, from McKendry, anybody else?
Honestly, it's just the ambition to want to get on the floor, and you know, getting on the floor is from playing defense. Coach McKinney, he prided on man-to-man defense. He prided that. I'm not gonna give out too much of his sauce, you know.
That's okay.
It's still mid-season. But we suppress a lot coming into practice with Coach Champion. Defense is a big priority. If you can't guard, it's gonna be hard to be on the floor, and you know I want to take pride in that. And then when I got matched up to the point guard on Wagner, I knew that if I just stay in front of him, get him out of his groove, full court pressure, then we have a good shot.
And that paid off. I have one more thing for you, and that is you're a Syracuse kid. You had your choices to go different places. You're a very good high school player. You wanted to come to Lemoyne.
Yeah.
And you were here not just as an athlete, but you wanted to be here for the academics.
Of course.
So tell us about why Lemoyne, why now?
All right, this is a funny story that the guys on the team know.
I'd love to hear it.
I went to Damon on a visit, and I had a good open gym. It was pretty good.
They're undefeated at Division II, by the way, number 2 in the country.
They're great.
So you would have been a nice
team.
fit there too. But go ahead.
Great team, great staff. Come to Lemoyne on my visit, and Trent. I'm guarding Trent all open run. Trent
Mascara, who's out right now.
killing me. Trent is frying me. I'm like getting embarrassed. I'm like, oh my god, like he's good.
Yeah.
So like I took that personally. I'm like, well, this is a challenge, and I want to get challenged. So athletically, when Trent fried me in open runs, that's when
you want more of this.
I want more.
Yeah.
I want to get better.
That's the mark of somebody that is a great player that he wants to get better. Iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
I have one more question for you. We talked about you sitting out last year, learning as you redshirted, and we watch players on the bench like Trevor Rowe right now who has to sit out this year with a back issue, and even Trent who's out again for part of this year. Is there any part of your experience, what you went through learning as you got hungrier to get on the court, that you impart on them?
Just being patient. You know, you can't force it. Your time's coming. Like, you're gonna get opportunity, and I mean, it's hard. I guess, yeah, it is really hard to. Cause I know I've been there. It's really hard to wait, but that's all you can do. All you can do is control what you can control. When they're healthy, I know they'll be in the gym. I know they'll get their reps in every day to get back on that court.
So you think Trent's going to keep burning you?
No, not anymore.
So
That was a one-time thing.
you, Will, Nate Fouts. There's a lot of Syracuse blood in this lineup. Guys that play a lot of minutes now. With you stepping up into a starter's role, is there a special sense of pride that you're playing for the hometown team or one of the hometown teams?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in playing for Lemoyne. You know, local school. My family could come. They weren't able to come today because they had a game.
They missed your best game.
Well, hopefully they
will
will
have
have
better
Yeah,
ones.
we'll have more, hopefully.
Yes.
But yeah, you know, I want to make Lemoyne a place where kids want to come to. You know, being D1 with Syracuse, what's it called, being across town. I want Lemoyne to be a place that kids want to go to. You know, basketball-wise and academically, because it's a great academic school.
Deng Garang, a great athlete and an ambassador for Moyne College and the athletic programs. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a pleasure talking to you, getting to know more about you.
Thank you, yeah.
With his career high 15 points, and someone took the stat sheet.
Yeah, your coach.
Oh, we need a stat sheet, please. Those are not updated.
Those are all partial ones, but yeah, I think Nate took yours,
yes,
Chris.
Okay.
He's so proud of this win, he needed 2 of them.
Yes. So.
Well, I know one thing. You didn't miss a free throw.
No.
No.
Yes, I had you down for actually 4 of 4 from the line, but 3 threes out of, I think, 4 attempts from 3.
I think 2 assists as well, if I remember what I saw.
Yeah, we're going with the photographic memory for the stats. But with all of those numbers, and again, the big one being the career high 15 points and great defense, Deng Garang, the local product, is our Wegman star of the game. Order delicious, freshly prepared meals to go, whether by delivery, carry out, or curbside pickup. Enjoy meals to go only at Wegmans. Great job, partner.
Thanks,
Thank
Deng.
you.
And we will be back after our last time out, back with more on the Wegmans postgame show. We'll wrap this thing up as the Dolphins win in overtime, 72-68 over Wagner. This is Dolphins basketball on the Moyne College Broadcast Network.